Hey, welcome back to the Sketchcraft Shout Out. I'm Rob D, aka Sketchcraft, here with my buddy, Uncle Jerk. Uncle Jerk, say hello.
Hi, Uncle Jerk.
Hey, Uncle Jerk. How you doing?
Hi, Uncle Jerk.
Guess what we're looking at today, Uncle Jerk? Guess what we're looking at today? You want to take one guess?
Spawn. Hulk. Max.
Yeah, well,
close, right? I'm close.
The Creech. The Creech. Written, drawn, created by Greg Capullo, inked by Danny Miki. Now, their Creech first shows up in like 97. There's two series. The first series is 97, second series shows up in 2001. These, and we're going to do the full color one at some point, but I thought this would be a fun thing to do. So years and years ago, I bought some artwork from Mr. Capullo, and he sent me these because I had mentioned I was a huge fan of the Creech. He didn't have any Creech pages, so I guess he's not getting rid of those. But he sent me these instead, and I never got to see these before. This was a Motor City Comic Con preview edition, prelude edition, or whatever. So let's just go ahead and what the Creech is, folks. It's a self-created comic that he did, Capullo did, that it's at its heart essentially like a Frankenstein story. It's about a doctor whose kid died, and he gets paid to basically figure out how to reanimate fetal tissue for a corporation, and he tries to make a peaceful thing, and they turn into a weapon of war, and he fuses his brain with it to take on the company, kind of thing. It's a high concept idea. And is it told in the most easy to understand fashion? No. But look at that art! Like, look at the art. Does it matter? Does it matter? You got really badass images like that, dude.
Yeah, Capullo's working on a new Creech story, right?
Yeah,
like he was, and then he went to Marvel, and I think he had to take a break. But he's working on one, right?
But yeah, he's working on one. Yeah, he always shows off those Creech 3 pages whenever he gets a chance. But this is on just regular uncoated paper stock, and you get pencils and stuff, dude.
Gorgeous, man.
Yeah, you get the Capullo pencils, which is nice.
Yeah, his layout pencils are gnarly, man. I always love his stuff, dude. It's really cool. It's on, like, that's on just like notebook paper, like back in the day, dude. Just
yeah, I think that's a Photoshop effect. Yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh, my bad.
Yeah,
okay.
That's a Photoshop effect.
I can see that. Yeah.
That's not. Yeah. These are on actual boards, but it's got notes and stuff here. It's a pretty thin little preview piece, but it's better than an Ashcan. Like, Ashcan is usually super tiny, This has some production value into it. And
a little bit more like layout. Yeah, this reminds me of kind of like a combination of the Wizard 1/2, the zero issues and stuff that they would do. Yeah,
I really like the graphic design that McFarlane and them had going around the late 90s, early 2000s. Hey everybody, check it out. I am at Uncle Jerk's YouTube channel, and joining me today to tell you all about it is Uncle Jerk.
What's going on, everybody? So why are we looking at my YouTube channel?
We're paying him an exposure, so guess what this is?
But I've done everything from interviews and documentaries about Scud the Disposable Assassin, Sam Keith and the Max, Arthur Saidam. If you like my historical input into these videos here, you might find something that really interests you over on my channel. Be warned, they're a little bit longer, but I guarantee you, if it's a subject that truly interests you, you're probably not going to find a more in-depth or analytical dissection of that. I have got some of the funnest interviews. I mean, I still can't believe Kelly Jones talked to me for 7 hours. 7 hours.
We haven't even done 7 hours of this show. So let's get back to it. We gotta get our numbers up, Uncle Jerk. All right? This is enough you time. All right.
I was gonna say it's enough about me. Let's get back to the issue.
It's not all their stuff. I actually really like this. This isn't a font. This is hand drawn.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can tell somebody's coming at that with a quill, bro.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
And it's really well suited to the rawness of the Miller-esque backgrounds there. Those real hard, ink blot lines and it's just
there's a lot of Dark Knight Returns in the DNA of the storytelling on this series, by the way.
Is there? Okay.
Yeah, there
is. I
of...
admittedly never read The Creech. I've seen a lot of the art over the years, but like just never took the dive, so to speak. Man, that's a gorgeous page. I love Capullo when he's like that raw and unfettered. Like when he's just like,
it's like Capullo Miki ink combination, right? Like the Miki was at the top of his game. I mean, the pages I own are Mickey inks, dude. And like,
I know
it's amazing to look at.
Like,
yeah, it's amazing to look at. You know, you just look at, you're like, it's beyond me. You know,
I will never be. Yeah, it's like Richard Friend or Travis Charest. Like when I look at their work, I'm just like, well, you know, I might as well just
it's just
put the pin down.
Cool stuff. The stuff is cool. Now, I once heard James Cameron say something that I tend to agree with, and he says you can either tell a complicated story in a simple world, or a complicated world with a simple story. When you do both, you better be a fucking genius.
I can actually get behind that statement.
Yeah, and so when people say things like Avatar is a simple movie, I'm like, because it's a complicated world. If I describe the idea of implanting people's, consciousness into organically grown bodies it's a very complicated idea, simple down to a simple story. Star Wars follows the same thing: a simple story, complicated world. This is a complicated story with a complicated world, and that's kind of like the problem. If this is a great little look at, like, he pasted his hand, right? Like, do you think he dipped that in ink, or that's like a photo? No, that's like on the page, right? Like, some of this looks like
definitely
Photoshop.
On page.
No, this is photo. No, this is a page, and this is Photoshop over it. Yeah, it's Photoshop over it. Clever though, right? Like, I wish we could. He should. This would be a great. Like, that should just be a cover. Like, that's pretty good. I think the thing to do here was to either tell a Frankenstein story, or tell the story of this old man building this monster that he built for himself, to take revenge on a world or something. But when it gets into, there's so many high concepts with DNA and UFOs. Clearly, like, Capullo was listening to Coast to Coast AM at the time, And there's got a lot. I mean, because if you know anything about Art Bell, that show from that time period, I could almost pinpoint the episodes he was listening to. But these are some great faces, dude. Just great cartooning. All right.
I missed this, Greg.
I do too. This is my favorite, Greg. This stuff here. It's almost,
and that's
like
not
Will
to bag
Eisner.
on him now. Sorry, guys. That's not to sound negative or be an asshole. I just miss this freedom.
My problem is when guys start working in the studio system, they start to chisel everything out a little more for whatever reason.
Yeah,
and so
it's just not as free, it's not as raw, it's not as expressive.
This is somewhere between like Will Eisner and Carlos Maglia for me,
I was just getting ready to say, like, this is the guy where I'm looking at, where I can see some like Jamie Hewlett in there too on some of these faces.
You get some Bridgman,
like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. I mean, this is totally like Jamie Hewlett and Rob Schrab and in that
totally,
vein,
I mean, but there's like a lot of Maglia right there. I like every one of these dudes. It's like smoking. It's like a salty looking dude. Like, that's Maglia.
I always want. Like, he takes things real personal when you ask him that shit. So I wouldn't want to be the one to ask him. But I told you, there's just some stuff in Spawn where I'm like, that came from Cyber. Like, these pencils were so good, dude. Look at these pencils. Like, to ink the stuff requires you to be like a genius.
God level.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
God level.
Yeah.
There's a reason why, like, Danny Mickey and a couple of those other guys that, broke in with Rob, like, I know they get credit, but like, they'll never get the credit that they deserve. No one understands.
And when I think of someone says mainstream comic, to me, this is like a professional mainstream comic. To me, like, this is what I want from X-Men and Batman. I want this. I don't.
Well, yeah, and like, the thing is like, when me and you say that this is what we think of, right? But also, we're fucking one of the few people that are like totally willing to be like, but I would wait a year to read 3 issues of this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's
Yeah.
totally fine. You don't need to put this out every month and then apologize to me when it takes you 4 months to get an issue done. You need to take 4 months to do this fucking issue and give me 3 of these a fucking year and we'll be fucking friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'll even pay more. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm paying $5 for a 32-page piece of crap, I would gladly pay $8 or $9 for fucking a 30-page fucking book like this.
See, I'm buying this and I'm buying Mignola. You know what I mean? I'm buying both those. Like that, so it's not like
Mignola is this same level of quality. It just has less lines.
Right.
I think there's as much thought that goes into Mignola's work as goes into this stuff.
Well, at least
maybe not
stuff.
like hours of ink.
The original stuff, yes. Maybe not now, but there's a lot of shorthand happening now. But in the original stuff, 100%. This is so good, dude. Look at the way they do.
But this is not how Greg goes anymore.
Like,
this isn't how Greg goes anymore either. No, so let's not.
This is Miki too. Like, but look at the way he did the splatter. Like, look at this. Like,
yeah.
Like, so all this had to be frisketed out, right? Like this all had to be frisketed. You know, maybe even before you ink it, like the pencils. Because it's like,
I'm sure you would have. Yeah,
like
there's no way you
like,
get it that clean.
It's going like
but
this.
Again, it's Danny Mickey. Maybe he fucking. Yeah, the man's God tier, bro.
He once gave me a thumb up on something I do at a Comic-Con, and I was like, "You're too kind. Do not."
Like, shut up, dude. Don't.
Yeah.
Like, don't play with my emotions like that, bro.
You're being too nice, Mr. Mickey. Book designer, art director Brent Ash, inker Danny. Yeah, Brent Ash, very good. Very good on this design. So this is cool. It's thin, but this is dope, right? I mean, this is pretty. You'd be stoked to buy the comic if you saw this at a con, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, dude, for sure, bro. Especially when that was coming out. Fucking right, I would.
You tell what about now? I mean, I think this stuff looks dope for now. Like, I don't.
No, but I'm saying, like, especially when that came out, like whatever that was, like 16-year-old, 20-year-old me or whatever was like, yes.
I don't know. It's so hard because it's like you get some of the guys now who are like, oh, it's because you're older, Rob, and this doesn't fly. This art doesn't fly. I'm like, what do you mean this art doesn't fly anymore? Like, maybe in their little social circles, but I tell you right now, I put this on a shirt at Hot Topic. And it's gonna move, especially if it wasn't Creech, if it was like the Hulk. You know what I mean? If it was, if it just called Cyber Hulk, right? Boom, 1 million shirts will sell. Like, nothing's changed in the mass market. It's the comic dudes who.
No, it's not though. Those are the same dickheads that are on the fucking message boards being like, Marvel and DC just keep hiring people. They can't do expressions and blah blah. Shut the fuck up, dude. This is so toxic, man. Nobody can be happy with shit anymore.
If I had any, speaking about not being happy, if I had any critique about the design of this character, is like, it should have started with like a little chibi version of him or something cute, like, like a cute monster version. But look at these pages, dude. Like, this is the Dark Knight Returns, right? Lightning Bolt,
yes,
right? 9-Up. I love it when they do one panel stretch across, but with 3. I like that.
Like, split, dude. Yeah, I'm a sucker for that, man.
I love it. Yeah, I love it. I love it. And like the watch details are sick. That's a lot of work. And then you get to this stuff. Like, and this is like Aliens, right?
And would you say this was 97?
Yeah, this is 97.
Okay.
October.
I'm just trying to contextualize that, because this is like as the industry is imploding on itself. So,
yeah,
like 98, it's gone.
I know. I wasn't paying attention. I was just buying cool books.
Oh man, who's doing the lettering and shit on this?
Or do they have? I think is it? Let me see if it's in the back. Because it's all the Spawn crew. Iliopolis is doing it. Yeah.
Huh.
So it's all hand-drawn art too, because look at the brackets, dude. Like, those are the
That's what I'm saying, man. That's those fonts showed up in like a bunch of stuff. Interesting. Sorry, go ahead, man.
Yeah.
Just analyzing this, pulling this apart.
That's cool. Like, this panel is sick, dude. Like,
how do you make that legible? How do I still know what's happening with all that white? What the
That's why I never want to hear, Rob, you got to make your, like, it's hard to see your stuff. I mean, hard to see my stuff. Like, well, it needs a color. Yeah, that's why the comics are in color, nitwit. You know? Like, we know, you know, especially these guys, they had Dan Kemp and all these dudes doing, I don't know. The coloring, you know, was on point. The colors are good for what they put together. But, like,
I would love to see Spicer come at this, man. I want to see Mike Spicer take this shit on.
Is that one of those 4-color guys that does neons and stuff?
Mike Spicer's like one of the guys that does, he basically exclusively does all of Daniel Warren Johnson's stuff.
Right.
He's 4-color, but he's not flat. And he doesn't really. He's just good, man. Mike is super talented, in my opinion.
I don't like a lot of seeing like marker renderings over like hand. You know, that I might be more interested in.
He has almost that feeling. It feels a lot like Carrie Andrews stuff. Like, I think Mike's done a good number of coloring Carrie Andrews stuff. Anyway, he's good, man.
So this is the doctor, you know. Evil corporation.
Man, I want to see this. Like, did Ollie Optics cover do the colors on this? No,
it's 97. It's one of like Haberlin Kemp's guys, you know, like yeah. We're gonna get to the color, bro. I thought you'd definitely appreciate the inks, you know. Like,
no, I was just curious because I was gonna ask Steve Olaf because Steve's been posting a lot of his original like Spawn color guides and that kind of stuff from Capullo.
Yeah. And Olaf was off by 96.
What's
95. Olaf was off by 95, 96.
96, he's gone. That's why I said this is 97. Yeah. That's why I stopped myself and I was like, never mind. It was just cool to see his hand-colored guides because they're gouache and they're marker and they're beautiful. So I was just curious.
These are super, super dope. This is one of those things they tell you now, don't ever rotate the page. I'm like, why? I don't know, man. I dig it.
I won't lie. Don't rotate the page.
I disagree. Rotate. The page.
I can't.
Rotate the page. You people rotate their stupid phone. Rotate the page. This is a very Empire Strikes Back shot right here. Right. The grills. And the Bespin, the carbonite chamber. You know.
Yeah. I didn't notice that. Yep.
Yeah. What's up, crafties? Spawn Kills Every Spawn, drawn by yours truly, out on shelves now. Issue 1, issue 2, issue 3, and issue 4, all on the stands. Local comic book shop, you can get them as well as Amazon, everything else. Plus, on December 18th, 2024, issue 5 drops. Oh my gosh, look, I already have it. It's ahead of time. I got it early for the Christmas season, but December 18th, you can grab it too. And don't forget, if you look on eBay and around, you'll be able to find the Spawn Kills Every Spawn sketch cover. I might even have a few in my store soon with some commissions and drawings and stuff. So go in there. And don't forget about the limited to 500 San Diego Comic-Con exclusive edition Spawn Kills Every Spawn issue 1, featuring my line arts. Wouldn't it be cool if they had done all these as secondary covers? But hey, you know, go bother Todd about it. In the meantime, if you want to support me, help pay the bills, please, folks, go to your comic book shop, pick up some Spawn Kills Every Spawn. All right, and now back to the show.
I just like the perspective there. The depth.
Yeah. Greg gets a lot of play out of a flat surface, you know?
He really
gets
does.
A lot of, I remember at the time, I'm like, he's like the best artist no one talks about. If this guy did Batman, everyone would be, and I would get shit for it for years and years and years. You know, and then when he took over Batman, now they're like, yeah, he was like one of the best Batman artists ever. I'm like, no shit, Sherlock. Like, I mean, this is like Dark Knight Returns right here, right? You know, this is like the thing.
A lot of it is Dark Knight Returns.
This should have been a full page. Like, this is kind of the problem with some of the stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But you get a lot for 3 issues. I can't complain about that. And then you get this stuff, which is somewhere between.
Wow.
Yeah. This is somewhere. Look how tight all this stuff is. It's somewhere between Akira and The Dark Knight Returns. You know.
I was just getting ready to say the top of that looks like Katsuhiro Otomo, and then like right below it, we got The Dark Knight Returns television segments there, dude. Like wow.
Yeah.
And because like everybody who's like, why does he keep saying what? Anybody who doesn't know, like McFarlane used to love to swipe Atomo backgrounds and stick them into stuff he was working in. So I always find it amusing whenever like anything looks like Atomo stuff it's funny. It makes me
But this
laugh.
era of Greg doing turtles would have been amazing, right? Like,
I think a
Shredder
lot of
with the
people
mutants
doing
and-
the turtles doing this during this era would have been amazing. It's really kind of a shame that
Look at the
the
head.
turtles never got.
the head coming out of the black. This is just really dope. You know,
It's a beautiful way to make space, like beautiful way to make negative space for the dialogue there. I don't know if I like those last two panels floating, but it's a really good page. And he's really playing these are the kind of books that kind of like some people just are allowed to fuck with page layouts and then other people aren't. And like sometimes I get it because like you got guys like Sam Keith that are truly savants about it. And like Capullo's good. Don't get me wrong. This is 1000% not a dig, but like, bro, like some of that's like, come on, man. Like if you're going to be giving notes on shit, look at the bottom of that page. Come on. Your stuff's too busy, Rob. You can do like four floating
don't compare myself. I would never
images with
compare
a
myself.
headshot.
I never compare myself to Greg Capullo, but I do find it funny when people, I'm like, maybe things have just gotten really
I don't
simple.
mean your art. I'm saying the page layout.
Right. Maybe some people have just gotten really simple these days, you know, because this is.
No, I just think that
these
like some
guys
people are allowed to mess with shit and other people aren't.
Yeah. Well, I don't care what people say. I'll do what I'm gonna do, but yeah, I don't really care. I mean, he would do. This is almost Alex Nino right here, like this thing, you know.
Then almost, yeah, totally, bro. I mean, like kind of like negative space. That remind you don't. I guess you don't really know a lot of like Drew Lay or anything.
No, you'll have to go through some of that sometime.
I just broke down. It is the only thing that I did for myself. I sold some books and I bought the Drew Lay library. It's 5 hardcover books. I got them for $70 shipped, and like we're gonna do a whole special. You know, we'll spread them out, but we're gonna look at all of his shit. Drew Lay's a fucking genius, dude.
Yeah,
he's Sienkiewicz by way of like Nino. Man, it's like makes me sad that like we don't get more vault editions, because I would love to see more. I am really excited. It sucks they pushed it back because they canceled the solicitation, the original solicitation on the new vault edition of Spawn by Capullo. Because man, am I excited to see that.
The Creech. We will cover the full color edition soon. There's 6 issues to go over, 2 volumes, the original Creech and then Creech Out for Blood. And if you want to see more of that, you gotta leave a comment to feed the algos, folks. Right? Gotta do it. You have any final thoughts here, bud? Uncle Jerk?
My main thing would be like if you want to see the evolution of his work in black and white or in even more raw forms. They did release some of Capullo's Batman as pencils, raw pencils, in this series called Unwrapped. Yeah. And the Unwrapped books are like, they've been out of print for maybe 8 or 9 years. You can get them brand new for I think about $20 off of eBay shipped. So I highly recommend checking that out. He also has got these noir editions that are out in France of a bunch of his work. If you want to see more of his just pen and ink work, it's not Danny Mickey. It is Capullo inking himself. But like
this
really
pretty good though.
No, I mean it is totally boss.
Right.
Everybody knows that knows me knows I'm not like necessarily the hugest Spawn guy, and I don't have a lot of money. And I'm still really looking forward to, and I'm hoping to pick up the Greg Capullo Spawn Vault Edition. So those are all things to look forward to and pick up if you're into Greg's more unfinished work. And I really want to thank Rob for showing these off, man. Like, you don't get a chance to see his inks in their raw form, let alone his pencils very often. Right. So seeing 1997
And this was
Capullo,
not common in 97 to do. You know, this was not, you weren't getting this
No.
sort of thing. There's no black and white Spawn.
No,
You know,
no, it's super cool.
Yeah, so this is totally awesome. All right, thanks for joining me, Uncle Jerk. Hey, Uncle Jerk, be bold.
Keep cartooning.
Perfect. Will do. Peace. What's up, crafties? Make sure you follow me, Sketchcraft, at YouTube and Instagram and everywhere else on socials, as well as Jerk Comics on YouTube and on Instagram and all the other socials. You can also check out my stuff at sketchcraft.com, so you can find my art, and you can buy my stuff at shopsketchcraft.com. If you'd like to get some comics I've made, Spawn Kills Every Spawn, issue 1 through 4 on racks at all your comic book shops right now. Issue 5 out December 18, 2024. And the trade paperback coming to you July 29th, 2025, all the way next summer, but we're going to have cause to celebrate. Spawn Kills Every Spawn. Go get that right now. Support the old Sketchcraft, and we'll see you next time. Peace.